Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Brickanista Broadcast Network here on YouTube and on Rumble. And PT is back, and we're both positive today. This is great.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
It's kind of weird that the finale's already here.
It is. It is. It's just, yeah, kind of, I don't know. It seemed like it took forever to get
up
here,
on us.
And then it just zipped on through. So
it might be because we also had some changes with Poppy and Ben dropping out early.
Yeah, that could be. So I thought, I know this is a throwback, but I thought this was very festive.
Oh,
the little what is it? The Moa tree? No, the
Puata
creature. But it looks very Christmassy, so I thought it was very appropriate.
Yeah. The character from, for those of you who don't know, that was we did a LEGOMasters New Zealand review.
Yeah, and that was from that. And then I was Rick.
Oh, you got your little gnomes.
Yeah, Rick.
Oh my God, those are hilarious.
These little gnomes, I thought they were cute, so I
love the beard too.
I just reproduced what he did. Saw him on Instagram, and they were too darn cute. So I had to.
Cute. Well, you know, they're really big in the Pacific Northwest.
Are they?
We have a big Scandinavian community up in Seattle and in Portland. So I see them all the time. In fact, I was at IKEA the other day, and they have those gnomes there that you could buy. So of course I got one. But I have quite a few gnomes in my apartment. I probably should put some back here now that, you know,
looking over the
holidays and such. So
that's all right.
Yep. Do you have any big plans for the holiday?
No, we stay. It's just our family unit here at the house, and we have fun. We're through matching pajamas and whatnot, and so yeah.
Matching pajamas.
Matching pajamas.
Oh, okay. See, this is something I did not know.
Yes. So we do that, and then
the theme this year.
Yeah, I don't know if they're green based pajamas. How about that? Like, you know, in years past we've done like T-shirts and things like that. There's always something that we all, you know, the three of us all wear. So. Oh
my God, how fun!
Yeah.
And Brick Jedi's in the house. Hey, Brick Jedi, ahoy hoy! Good to have you here. Speaking of green, that icon he's got there. Looks like Frankenstein?
Yep, looks like
or the Grinch dressed as Frankenstein. So we're coming down to the final episode, which has been amazing this entire journey. And we're happy to have with us in the studio, please help me welcome. We have Grandma Blue Brick, also known as Karen.
Hey, hi there. Karen.
How's it going?
It's going really well.
I have gotten to know you through Instagram primarily, through your amazing builds, especially around Christmas time, which is part of the reason why we asked you to be on this particular episode, because it was leading up into Christmas. And I wanted to kind of get a sense of where did you start with those kind of holiday scenes, or how did you get your start in Lego?
So I have 5 boys, and they've all really loved Lego, and one of them especially never had Dark Ages and always loved Lego. And in 06, yeah, it's my boy, it's Jonathan. And so he was in Germany in 2006, and I don't do Black Friday, but my mother-in-law needs a slave on Black Friday. So for 30 years, I was my mother-in-law's slave, gopher, cart pusher, climber person. So in 06 on Black Friday, we're in the Target in Watertown, South Dakota, which might be the smallest Target ever. And there's the Lego train, the holiday train. And I get it for Jonathan. I throw it in the cart. And I don't even much give it a second thought. And we check out, we go home, and I get to my mother-in-law's that night, and I'm looking at that train, and it is so stinking cute. I open it and I build it, and I think, I'll get another one, you know, tomorrow. Well, they're sold out, of course.
Oh,
And I try, this is before the internet. So, or for me, it's before the internet. And so I try really hard to get another one, and I can't. I don't know anything about Bricklink or ordering from Lego, or there's no Lego store in South Dakota. And I even call the Mall of America, and they're out. And so I gave him something else. Train is mine.
He never got that train, huh?
He gets it when I die. Everyone knows he gets it when I die.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
So all I did for the first couple years was have the train around my tree, and I didn't have tracks for it. And then one day I'm at school and somebody has a Lego 9-volt train track. Oh my goodness. Be still my beating heart. I ask lots of questions. I buy myself, 16 pieces of circle. I can't. Power functions are out by then, and I can't get any 9-volt there in Sioux Falls. And so I got my little circle of track going. It sits not moving on that circle of track until 2009. And in 2009, we're in Cincinnati by then, and they open a Lego store.
Yay.
And I go to the Lego store and I see that I can buy a motor and track and make it go and make it bigger. And this is the year the first, is it the bakery was first or the post office? Anyway, whichever one was first, it's the year that one came out. So I buy that one and I think, what else can I look mountainy? So I buy the Mountain Police and I buy a winter helicopter looking thing.
Oh, wow.
And I buy a Mr. Freeze, and whatever I see in that Lego store that looks wintry, I bought
Anything that looks wintry, right?
Stopped at Home Depot, got myself a 4x8 sheet of styrofoam, not understanding what I was doing. And actually, I ran it on the rug first, and it got fibers in it. So then I got the styrofoam. And then I cut it, and then it got little styrofoam balls in it. So from then on, it's been an upgrade. But then I bought everything right as it's come out ever since then for Winter Village.
Wow.
And so in 2010, I took a class at the University of Cincinnati in teaching remedial math with Lego. And I was working in juvenile justice at the time, and it was super effective, and they had fun. And boys in juvenile justice do not want to talk to therapists as a general rule. But if you walk in and say, "Hi, I'm the Lego lady. Do you want to play Lego?" They know you're a therapist. It says so on their badge, but they will sit and build Lego because it's better than looking at a wall.
That's nice.
And once they're building, they talk. And so I then got certified in a kind of therapy that uses Lego and used Lego in play therapy and several other ways till I retired. And by then I was hooked so deep.
That's amazing. Also, for those of you watching, I should mention that Amy had a conflict tonight, so she couldn't make it. So we have half of the team, of the grandma team, who is going to be with us tonight. And Karen, I specifically asked Karen for this date, as I mentioned earlier, because I knew she was big into Christmas builds. So let me ask, actually, PT, did you have any specific questions too about your journey?
Besides Jonathan, do any of your other sons continue with Lego, or did they
Andrew has a daughter who they live the closest to us, and she was very into Lego. And I give all my grandkids Lego. I have all of them have got lots of Lego every birthday, every Christmas, till they tell me not to. And so Lexi is really big, and she's an only child, and she's gotten a lot of Lego from grandma and from dad and from mom and from everybody. And he's very into Porsches, and he started with, remember when the green Porsche and the white Porsche came out together?
The Technic one?
No, the little ones.
The little Speed Champions?
The little Speed Champions.
Yeah.
The green and the white one came in the same box. And I gave him those for Christmas. And then he just started bricklinking all the Porsches. So that was his gateway drug, was the Porsches.
That's too funny.
And He's, oh, I got it. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a picture of him. You're
Okay. Well, while she's doing that, we are going to talk about the finale. And we also want to make a pre-announcement that we are going to do a Bricktacular show to review the Bricktacular episodes, because I know PT hasn't seen it yet, but we did see, or at least I saw the yesterday's episode, which was fun. And then there's one episode tonight. So, and it looks like there's 2 challenges per night. So we'll have 4 challenges to review on Friday. So we're going to stick with the same time slot. So this Friday, 6 o'clock, we'll do a review of the Bricktacular episodes. She's back.
I'm back. So this is Andrew, and he's a big Laker fan. I don't know if you can, I don't know. Well, I got to turn it. I gotta go backwards. See his shirt?
Oh, funny.
Yeah. So he's a big Laker fan, and when he sold his Porsche, he got an S2000 and it's blue. So this is him. And shortly after he got it, this is what happened.
Oh,
got a ticket. So now, did he grow the beard too?
Yeah, he did have a beard.
Oh, how funny.
He grows it pretty much every winter. He doesn't have it now. He just doesn't, I don't know what he has now. But yeah, he grows it off and on sometimes. But he did have it when that happened. So, but now he's got quite a collection. As I'm tapering down and curating and moving into a smaller house, he's doing the exact opposite. He's in his peak earning years, and he's spending a lot of it on Lego. So
good for him, and good for Lexi too.
Yep, two sons that are big into Lego, and probably 15 grandkids that are.
Wow. So when you decided to apply for the show, had you thought about going with one of your sons before deciding to ask Amy?
Yeah, I kind of didn't really apply. So this is maybe a little bit of a twist. But Jonathan's wife, Casey, thought we should go. She thought we'd win. She wanted the $100,000. And Jonathan is a better builder than I am, and he's built a lot more. And so Casey did all the legwork, all the applications, all the pictures. All we did was sign it and laugh at her. Okay. And this was for season 3, and they didn't even contact us back. And so season 4, we got a call from the casting, and they said, we would like you to audition like in 3 days on Zoom.
What?
And he lives in Europe. So they wanted us in the same room, but he's in Europe. So we did it split screen, and they said, oh, we love you. We're going to do it. And then we discovered that, well, we already knew his wife was expecting a baby, but the baby was born in the middle of filming. I don't know if you remember in the one episode they showed the new baby. So they said, no, we're not going to take a dad away from his family when a baby's being born. That's not right. And so they said, you know, they ghosted us a little bit after that. And about 2-3 weeks later, they called back and said, so we really would like you to find another grandma. Fox wants 2 grandmas. And so it was a convoluted process. But during that
you're a very unique situation, because they usually never call you back. They usually never say, we want you.
I know that now, but I wasn't into, I would go to Brick World Indy because I lived in Cincinnati, but I'd never been to any other conventions. And I've been to that little museum in Ohio, but no place else.
Well, you have a really good Instagram account, though.
Yeah, but that's new. That's
fairly
new. And because when I was working, I wasn't allowed to have an Instagram.
Oh, social media.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So, so I forgot. Lost my train of thought completely.
Well, this is where Fox called you and said,
"Oh, Fox called.
We
want another grandma." So I called my sister, and she's in Europe on the filming dates, in Spain with her son. And so then I'm like, I don't know any grandmas that do Lego. And then Amy sends me this Lego meme, and they see it on Instagram.
Oh.
And they're like, what about her? Is she a grandma? And I go, well, yeah, she's got one and she's expecting her second one. She's 16 years younger than I am. And they go, are you friends? And I go, oh yeah, we're really good friends. And she goes, could you work with her? And I go, yeah, but she doesn't do Lego. And they said, that's okay. That's okay. And, you know, they actually talked about Sam and Nina, I think, because they said, you know, one young man is coming on with his mother. And last year, you know.
Yeah, they had the grandpappies last year.
Yeah.
Right.
And anyway, I called Amy. She called her kids, and they were like, do it, do it, do it. And so we did it. She flew out here, and we broke down and built sets all day, every day for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she's a quick learner, and, you know, she got excited about it, I think. And you saw us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
and I think everybody now is going to use shiitake mushrooms whenever they're on a Fox show, when they want to say something that they can't bleep out, right?
Right. Shiitake mushrooms.
Shiitake mushrooms.
Oh, that's too funny.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's an honor, though, that you applied for season 3, and then they called you back out of the blue. And just said, really
more than a year later. Yeah.
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 That's amazing. That's great. But if you look back on your career, in fact, this might be a good segue because we have a couple of your builds from the show. And when you look back at the builds that you did on the show, I think they were absolutely amazing. I really, really loved the shoe, especially for your boat.
Yeah, we loved our shoe.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you are working together.
I know I look like my mother in this picture.
Well, you know, I was going to say is that at the same time this was running, they were running the Golden Bachelor. Mm-hmm. And those women were in their 60s and 70s, and they made them all glamorous and beautiful and svelte. And I'm really disappointed that they had to go stereotypical with how they presented the two of you.
Well, what's really funny is Amy and I ran our first 5 marathons together. We've both run a lot of marathons.
Wow.
I don't know for sure how many she's run, but I've run 19. And kept running them until I broke my foot pretty badly. And Amy's run a whole bunch of Ironman. She is fit, and she's a goer, and she climbs Mount Rainier. And I mean, she doesn't look like that in real life.
No, she doesn't.
And to pick 2 grandmas and really dowdy us up like that is weird.
It's a disservice, in my opinion. Well, because I was really impressed. I was surprisingly impressed. Not that I watched the Bachelor series, but I was intrigued that they went with that demographic. And they made all the women very, very authentic to who they are. And so, you know, I just want to tell you that we know who you are. We know who you are. We know this is not a good representation of you.
Well, Amy's more like Kelly's demographic. I mean, they're very similar in their exercise. They exercise together several times. Like,
oh, wow.
They're the same age, and I think, and the same demographic and the same interests. And Kelly's way into Lego, and Amy really wasn't, but is now.
Kelly Bartlett had mentioned too that she mentioned the same thing about being very athletic, and also her partner Emily talked about that too. So I could really see how Kelly and Amy would all be running together and working out together and keeping fit together.
Kelly and Amy are uber fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Emily and I think we used to be fit.
Well, Emily called herself kind of like the cheerleader, where I'm sure
she was in high school. She really, every bit of fun you saw from Emily is genuine. She is one of the most fun.
Now, I met her in person just a few weeks ago, when
well,
I
she's
was
a
in.
blast.
And you're in Mesa, Arizona too, aren't you?
I am.
Close by?
Mhm.
Yeah, my parents and my brother are in Scottsdale.
Oh,
So
we'll have to have
next
lunch
time I'm in
you
town,
come.
I'll send you a note.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be great to meet you.
Yeah, be a blast.
So Karen, say when you guys that very first challenge, that we always hear about the first challenge, and that you know, under the pressure and working together. What can you tell us about what you guys, I guess, learned about each other in that first? I know you guys spent 2 weeks together building. So,
well, go back 20 years. We ran 5 marathons together and did every step of the training together, running outdoors in South Dakota, tending each other's children.
Wow.
I was there when her son AJ was born. I love him to death. She has always known him, been good to my kids. We have a long history. And like her car broke down and she took my car and things like that. We are forever friends before this ever started.
Mm-hmm.
So we were working together and she was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But she kept coming up with the ideas. Like in the audition, she did a Mario and it was a very simple Mario, but everyone knew it was Mario.
Yeah.
She has an eye for characters. And if you watched her Insta, her YouTube, where she does the Duplo builds for her toddler granddaughters.
Right.
Oh my goodness, she's so adorable. My friends who have toddler grandchildren are showing it to them because she's so good. Yeah. Yeah. So watch her YouTube if you've never seen it.
She used the same handle for YouTube, the Mimi Newbrick.
Mimi Newbrick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really cool. So.
No. Oh yeah. This is just the other shot where build in progress.
Build in progress. Yeah.
Your old lady in the shoe.
Yeah.
I love how you did the shaping here.
We just thought that shoe was so cute.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And there it is.
And we're parasailing on the shoelaces. that's me and her.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. And so she has the 2 grandchildren and I have 24. And we tried to fit them all on, but they couldn't fit all on.
Right.
So a lot of them are on there. The only one of our children that's on there, our husbands are both on there, but my son, who's the doctor, is there with the girl who's barfing over the edge.
See, those are the details we did not see when they showed your build.
Well, there were 1,000 little details that never showed in the show that were just fun.
Yeah, they usually have. Well, there's so many at the beginning. There's so many builds, and
well, it was also iconic that it was bright yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reality was it was too heavy for that base, and it tipped. But they said it had to float. They didn't have to say it had to float on the base, and so when it fell off, it floated in the water.
Oh, how funny!
And I said, "It's floating! It's floating!" It's pretty funny.
That wasn't in the brief, right? That it had to float on the base.
Yeah, it just said it. Yeah,
it just has to float.
It didn't sink. One of them fell off and sunk. So ours floated. It was full of air.
True.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Which is pretty amazing because that was a pretty dense build.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's 3 hollow cubes.
Oh, okay.
With snot on the sides. So it's not as dense as it might look.
That's all right.
It's like an ivory soap, right? It floats.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was
all
fun.
Right. And this is your build in progress for your second challenge, which was Felix's Fort.
Felix's Fort. And, we struggled with her idea a little bit. We wanted the base to look like a great big paw print. And it was the right shape, but because he was supposed to be a hunter. And so we went with a lot of camo, and the camo was too camouflaged for TV. It didn't show. So, live and learn. But our cat was probably the most interactive of all the kittens. We had lots of things for Amie has a couple cats and loves cats. And she said, well, it's too bad we can't this. It's too bad we can't that. And we did do those things and made them fun for the cat. You'll see right there, he's just knocking down the mouse. The mouse fell. So
right.
And
now, you don't have cat allergies, do you? Just
oh, I'm as allergic to cats as you can get.
Oh, see, this is interesting because several cast members have mentioned that they had allergies and that they were like, amped up on different antihistamines.
The first day I was amped up a little bit. I guess we can't talk about how we split. Well, whatever. Anyway, later in the process,
right,
I was on steroids.
Oh my gosh!
Because it had gotten so bad, and so I was about like this.
Oh wow!
Oh gosh!
It was one of those.
I'm very allergic to cats.
If you watch it again, Chris and Jordan, who are partners.
Chris is very allergic too.
But notice that they came in second. They're top 2 in the first challenge, and they're bottom 2 in the second challenge. And they're very allergic. And I had an ER doc son on call who got me meds in the middle of the night.
Oh wow.
And they didn't. And so I did a little bit better later.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that was completely unanticipated by the powers that be, or
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was meant to weed out the
There were several cast members from season 3 who were allergic to dogs.
No.
And they were having a struggle in doing their builds because of the allergies too. So
yeah. And they just had one dog per team. We had one cat per team, but we had in the same room, we had cages of little kennels of lots of little critters. They were all over. You saw how many there were. They were all over Amie and Jamie, and they were all over Will, and they would come talk to you, and there was cat hair on our clothes, and I mean it was
that would have been really hard for me. Yeah, I probably would have pulled one of those. I think in LEGOMasters Australia, there was one team member who had to leave because she had a medical emergency. I don't know. I don't think it would get that bad, but I don't know if I could handle all those allergies with that. So really kudos to you for toughing it out.
Yeah.
Well, Amie really did step up. I mean,
I bet.
I kind of had the lead in the first build, and when I got sick, Amie stepped up. So good for her.
Well, because she has 3 cats, right?
2 or 3. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 3.
I thought it was 2, but it doesn't. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. She has cats.
Her dog is the son of my dog.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a little factoid there. Wow.
And my dog is
South
the reason
Dakota.
we got Felix is my dog is Felix.
Oh. So you went from South Dakota to Cincinnati to Arizona now?
Right.
Ah, okay.
So I grew up in California, and my husband was raised in South Dakota. And we lived there 25 years. And then he got this job transfer to Cincinnati. And we lived a couple other places right out of college, but mostly those 2 places. But when it came time to think about living wherever we wanted, I had broken my foot and there's a bunch of metal in it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be living where there's no snow.
Oh.
So we originally bought this house as a snowbird house and kept the house in Cincinnati for, I don't know, 3-4 more years. But then we went overseas during COVID and sold the house. And
wow. But Mesa's your home.
Yeah, we live here now. It's the only house we have.
Okay.
We have 2 sons in Arizona close.
Oh, so nice.
We don't have another state that has 2 kids. So we have kids in 4 states in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah. So where do you live?
So now I think we're ready for the finale. Or do we have another?
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Dun, dun, dun. Now, if I had my bag of Santa hats, I would be changing my hat to my silver sequined one. So I hope I find it by Friday.
Yeah,
I'm bummed I can't find my bag of Santa hats.
Very nice.
Yeah, and Christmas will be gone, and then you'll find them.
Yeah, that's the way it works, right?
It's one of Murphy's laws.
All right. Well, we'll truck in. So we're the final 3 teams. You got Paul and Alita and Christopher and Robert and Nina and Sam.
You know what's funny is on Instagram I did a poll, and the poll revealed that at least my followers, people were really cheering on Nina and Sam on this one.
Oh,
well, they have an amazing dynamic together.
Yeah,
and it screen tests well. The other 2 teams also have amazing love, but it doesn't show as well on screen.
Right. Plus, they kept playing up Christopher as a villain.
Yes, and
for good television, right?
Is one of the nicest, kindest people I have ever met, and he respects and honors Robert, and Robert respects and honors him, and they're very polite. So I've worked with people from the Pacific Rim in my job, and the deference for their parents, the adoration of their mothers, the respect, and they were very. I don't think it was just because I was elderly, but they were super careful about just being really good to me and taking care of me. And so were Chris and Jordan.
Aww,
and I guess everyone was. And people knew, especially in that second episode, that I was struggling. And, they brought me whatever they thought might help. They were great people, all of them.
Yeah, we heard a lot about this season's cast having all helping in, and they showed some of that on, but apparently there was a lot more that happened, with other builds and stuff as this, everyone stepping in, and
it was amazing. In the offset times in the hotel, in the interactions, there was a level of kindness and camaraderie and fun that was just heartwarming the whole time. Yeah, and honestly, one of the producers said the very first day we got there, "You guys are going to be like family," and I'm like, I'm 67 years old. I got a family. I don't need another. This is a TV show. This is bunk, but we are really close, and I do love all these people. And there were.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and there were several of the crew that I really have warm feelings for as well.
Did you get a monkey from Lewis?
I did. I have a buffalo from Tim. I have a monkey from Lewis. I have Kelly's beautiful picture, if you've seen that. What else do I have over there? I did the first.
You have the frame.
Minifig set of all of us. And so if you saw the LifeStar, we were all on the LifeStar. And I also have like a little case that we're all in minifig form. I gave everyone my minifig early. I have it all greebled up, LM. And Tim gave us, have you seen Tim's tacos? The Brick Rodeo tacos?
I have not, no.
Let me grab them. I'll be right back.
Is that the Tim Howell or the Tim Hutchins? Because I know that when we've had Tim Owl and Tim Hutchins on, Timmy Owl is known for owls, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he did an owl for all of us too. I do have a little owl he did. But he also gave me my tacos.
Oh. In case you get hungry.
In case I get hungry. And I guess these were I guess every show they have a build, you know, at Brick Rodeo, and it was the build one time. But I like tacos and he gave them to me.
Too bad you weren't on season 3 with Tacos Blandino.
Oh, she's fun too.
I
haven't actually met her. Well, I saw her at Brick Slopes. We were there. I know we all had an elephant head over our faces on our minifig because the elephant is the room was, you know, the show's in the can and we're being announced next week. And so,
but you can't say anything.
You can't say anything. But
that's funny.
Everybody who knew what the elephant meant, and so she knew, and she did stop and talk, and Moto stopped.
She's hilarious, and
Philip stopped.
I really love talking with her in person. She's very authentic.
Yeah, and Jen, you know, the girls from Salt Lake, they were there,
right?
And they like even the other seasons have been very inclusive.
Oh yeah. It's a big family now, and they got 4 seasons of people.
Yeah, quite a family.
That is totally cool.
We kind of live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
By interviewing you. We're like the kids in the small table at Thanksgiving. Right? You guys are the big table at Thanksgiving.
Right. I'm the matriarch. I'm
We would love to be part of the big family someday, but we're not getting the calls like you are getting. Like, we really want a grandma.
I don't know what there's, you know, I think some producer at Fox went, grandmas, that's an angle we haven't done yet.
Yeah, we haven't done the grandmas yet.
Yeah. And I don't, you know, they have wardrobe all set up. They had like 12 pink outfits for Kelly and Emily, and, you know, and they had a bunch of flamingo-y outfits and Hawaiian shirts for Brad and Mike, and for us, they used our shirts and they only had 2.
Oh,
so they didn't really expect us to last. Aww. I think we were there for filler and to fill the demographic, but it was you know, even if that's the case, it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah,
I learned a ton and had fun, and you know.
And you're now immortalized, right?
Yeah, right.
For reality television. Once they get to, if it's anything like Survivor, I think Survivor is like now on season 20, something crazy like that.
And people go back and watch the old ones.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'll be dead and they'll still be watching it.
Oh,
no. 20, 30 years.
Well, you'll still be immortalized,
right?
In the Lego community. So
yeah,
we're really proud that you had a chance to represent the grandma community.
Well, I had fun.
All right. Whoop! How did I do that?
The brief.
There we go. The brief.
The brief.
The brief.
This is the last brief of this season.
It is.
What's interesting is the brief is always the same for the finale. It's always 24 hours, build something amazing, your masterpiece, no limits, built from the heart, awesome storytelling, epic creativity, also show some technical prowess, right? So what's interesting, when we had this interview with the LEGOMasters New Zealand winners, they had mentioned that they had already thought about what they wanted to do for their 24-hour build because they knew the criteria was the same. You just build whatever you want. So I'm curious. I'm wondering if they're going to change that. I guess the other thing that isn't listed here is that the build, whichever one wins, is going to be made into a set.
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. I can hardly wait to buy that set.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
That's what we had.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
$100,000 in cash. Flown to Billund to have the final design turned into an official set. And then the final build will be displayed at the LEGO flagship store in New York City.
I know, how fun. I'll be seeing that.
Well, I wonder, they said the final build will be displayed there. Somebody had mentioned that there's a portion on the back side of the build that wasn't finished. they didn't show it on camera. So I wonder if they're going to allow them to put those finishing details.
I am certain they will allow it to be made spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the animations, some of the things that got animated weren't flawless yet.
Right.
And they finished those in the animations.
Yep.
And they're fun. They want Lego to look good, and they want us to look good.
Of course.
Other than the cat thing.
That's all right. So, all right, Paul and Lita. This is kind of, we've got a few in progress builds and then kind of check-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
Their final. Yeah, this is, you know, well, they were all very, very personal, but I did like, I like their figures. Of course, you know me. I like little figures.
Love figures.
You like their baby Miniland, guys.
Yes, but yeah, you can see those right there, you know.
Well, when we interviewed, or I should say when PT interviewed Nolita and Paul also does baby scale builds. Those little minifig babies.
Micro. Yeah, yeah, tons of babies.
I don't know if he calls it micro or if he calls it baby scale.
Well, it's littler than minifig. It's probably bigger than micro. But
it's bigger than micro.
It's regular hats on the babies, and
right.
You know, and I have all the babies. I probably have 30 or 40 babies.
Yeah.
But
I know somebody who's got a baby army. That's Patty Sharon.
Is that LEGOmillion?
No, her name's Patty Sharon, and she put together like a baby army. She's probably got 100 or more babies.
Yeah. Well, I have, every time my grandkids come, we build their family, the ones from out of town. And so there's 20 years of Jenny's family, with all the kids getting a couple years being the baby. So there's 14 babies just in my daughter Jennifer's family representation. So yeah.
Wow.
So I have a lot of babies, but they're in scenes of my own family mostly. Yeah.
What's interesting about this build that was in progress is they had a roller coaster mechanism underneath this. And Will came up and said, "You realize the roller coaster episode's over, right?" So they already had that intention of having that sled coming down. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where, this is the other thing is, of course, they have the families come and visit. So
yeah, and that's so cool.
Yeah. So then they have their family unit there. There's the family shot. But yeah, the roller coaster, it was a little sled, snow sled is what they were after.
Right.
Most of it was hidden except that little downhill run.
Yeah. And look what a fantastic big job they did of that, making that hill.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I want Paul to come. Paul, come build my winter landscape that got broken. and you too, Nia.
Right? So they know winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he lives in Cincinnati now.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's still in Milwaukee, but
he's
from there. But he works for the Cincinnati Library, which is dear to my heart.
Oh, very cool.
Very nice.
See, I missed that interview because I had my emergency. Oh well, I will have to have them back again.
Yeah, they're fun.
Let's see, Christopher and Robert and their check-in. There's a work in progress with their massive plane. What was it? 8 feet?
Amazed. 8 feet by 8 feet is what they said.
That's massive. Just massive.
Yeah. See that fit into a box, right?
Well, and also just that, even as they were building, they were worried about, the bending of the wings, that, they just figured out all the engineering behind it, just like the roller coaster, that they weren't sure how the roller coaster was going to work, but they figured it out.
Yeah.
Like crazy talent.
And they probably tried 9 things in that quick little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard about some of them and I thought, and it was amazing. Even if I'd made it past the cats, I don't think I would have made it a lot longer because there are so many good builders.
There's Will checking in with them and in their progress with the family, and then of course
it was so good to see Christopher with his mom too.
Yeah, both of them with their
actually
moms.
Yeah, both Christopher and Robert with their moms, and Christopher's dad too.
And when you hear their family stories, that those men are success stories and their parents are success stories.
Definitely.
All right. Nina and Sam being checked in. You can see their tree. I was curious to see as they started building how they were going to do the limbs, but you know, here you can see the structure that they put in.
Yeah.
I would say this
that's
season.
A good shot to show how tall it is too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I'd say this season 4's builds are massive compared to previous seasons. I mean, just
well, once they got that big competition going, they got it going. I mean, that rug and that chair.
Oh my God, the rug was hysterical.
Yeah.
Now this is bigger than I had planned.
Yeah.
You think?
But I'll tell you, I sat in church and thought about the parts it would take to make the rug on the floor in church the other day.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, I'm not making any rugs.
This was so cute to see Sam's grandma too.
Yeah. No,
Really cool. Nina's mom.
Yeah, and you know their tea trawler was to honor her too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's great love in that
Yep.
family.
Yep. All right, now into the final builds. Here's all in the leaders.
Before we continue with this, what do you think you would have built, Karen?
I would have chosen something Christmas. And the first few years I did a Winter Village, there was no Star Wars mashup. But I forget which year, but one year, like the X-Wing came in and bombed the people and there were little red studs everywhere. You know, boys. And so we always have attacks and defenses in the Winter Village. And I would have done something, you know, I don't think I would have done what Paul did, even though I've made a butterfly house before, which is funny, but it would have been a Christmas thing if I could have. Yeah.
On a massive scale.
Yeah. And the thing I missed the most about the brick pit was slopes.
Oh, true.
There's lots and lots of bricks and clay.
Lots of bricks. 2x4s.
There's a lot of technique, but there I build if you not the nativity, but if you look at my mountains, you see slopes. And I have curved slope mountains, and I have angled slope mountains, and I have mixed mountains, and I have a lot of slopes. And so I mean, that's why I went with the snot in the first build is there's no slopes. And they did get more later. Every build, they got more parts than the build before.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And they had a lot of backup.
Oh, to resupply the
brick pit.
Yeah.
Like
they had to for Nina and Sam with that rug.
With that rug. Yeah. It's like
face plates. How many do you have? Bring them all.
Take them all.
I'm gonna need them.
If you've seen any of his other builds, they're big, they're creative, they're eye-catching. Yeah, Sam's a great builder.
All right. So here's the Paul and Alita's Christmas. I guess it was Christmas scenes at their home.
From their home, yeah.
Yeah.
Very personal build.
Yes.
Yeah.
And very pretty. And kind of got a MCM vibe with the butterfly roof and the turquoise.
MCM?
Mid-century modern.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that went right over me. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't read House Beautiful then?
Yeah, no.
Or Atomic Ranch? You don't read Atomic Ranch?
No.
I remember you talked about how you and Amy were going to build a butterfly style house in one of our interviews with Endable Shine.
And that was before that was even, they weren't done.
Right.
Yet. I mean, it was in the can, but I didn't know it. I didn't know they had built one. So no, I went home when I was done. I went home and built a butterfly house as the cat habitat. Like 2 weeks after I got home, it was done.
Oh, nice.
And I did it. I did it. Like. You know, it was a 10-hour build. I did it in 10 hours, just to see what I could get done in 10 hours. And all my colors don't match. It's certainly not as clean as this.
Because you don't have a brick pit of just, you know, refillable colors.
Yeah. No, I don't. I probably have more different elements, but way fewer of each element. I mean, there are thousands of some of the elements.
Hey, Groovy Bones just joined us. Hello. Hi, sorry to join so late. We are just doing the review of the 3 builds. So you're actually just in time.
All right. Oh, sorry. Went too far. This Christopher and Roberts World Wonderliner.
Yeah. What was hilarious for me was the 3 Z's on the tail wing.
I know.
It was kind of like, you sure you want to fly on this airline? The pilots are sleeping.
Well, the pilots aren't sleeping, but all the rest of us are sleeping.
Everybody else is sleeping
around the world.
The pilots.
Like, I always want to fall asleep on planes.
Yeah. Well, that just means you trust the pilots.
Well, I don't do it unless my husband's sitting next to me.
Well, you know, what's interesting is that this was before the launch of the Dreams series, too.
Right.
So it's interesting, you know, with the, you know, I don't know what the designers are planning to do with this, how they're going to integrate it into the line. Maybe they'll put it into the Dreams line.
It is a good fit for Dreams.
Yeah.
Fly off to your dreams or something like that. Or all right. Yeah, unfortunately, Endable Shine, we only have these 2 shots that are basically the same. This one,
they're very similar.
But yeah, you get to see their stories of travel, which is really nice to see. That it's a night. I didn't know that until they announced it, obviously, but that they traveled together, which I thought was so they've known each other for quite a while then. As kids,
well, they traveled for work together first, didn't they?
I think
their families traveled together.
I think they said their first joint travel vacation, I think, was to Rome or Greece. Did they say that?
I think I think you're right. I think it was Rome, which I think is the center one.
Yeah. When they were kids.
Colosseum.
Yeah. Coming together. All right. Well, let's move on.
When we interviewed him, or both of them on our show, I think Christopher said Robert was the only one who he thought would be crazy enough to go on this LEGOMasters journey with him. And he also said that they never thought they would get this far because Robert, I think, was in school. So it's like he's saying, dude, I can't keep missing school. You know, it's like I keep missing week after week after week.
I think it's okay now.
Yeah. I think it's all right.
Yeah. It's too funny. All right. All right.
And then we have Sam's and Nina's.
Yes.
Which is so beautiful. The coloring, the vertical lines.
Oh yeah, the trunk is amazing.
The trunk is just beyond. Yeah.
And also we don't have the height reference because we don't have somebody standing next to it, but
that other picture had Sam standing right next to it. Sam's not short. I mean,
yeah, it's tall.
Yeah, this towered over him as well as Amy, and Amy's not short either.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely, and again, gorgeous.
I love the seasonal transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, each leaf or each branch being a
Yeah. This one had, I don't know. I know that Christopher and Robert's build had great significance for them, but this one, the Seasons of Life, I just thought it was like for everyone, very apt. I loved it so much.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the motion in the builds. Christopher and Roberts, you know, the bed moving around and whatnot. And then here, they're gardening and everything. There was a lot of motion.
Yeah, each little scene had a movement.
And then Groovy Bones says that the build was about 6'4".
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Yeah, it was nice to see. Yeah, like all the movement. That is probably one thing also this season, besides these ginormous builds at the end for the finale. But there was a lot of motion integrated. It kind of started early and just kind of kept going.
Well, in the very beginning, when we were in the green room, we would build these little builds, and I hadn't done a lot of that. You know, I have a Christmas train that goes around my village, and that was my motion all I'd ever done. And so we had 3 basic movements that we learned, and I did them over and over and over and over and over, and they all helped me. That was the other thing, is they were perfectly willing to teach me. You know, all of them were very generous with knowledge about mechanisms and motors. Poppy was generous. Jordan and Chris were generous. Yeah. Robert and Christopher were generous. Timmy Howell sat down with me and just, I did them over and over till I could get them to go right.
Right.
So lots of help from lots of people.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Brandon Jones out of Seattle. He does this great sessions at conventions on gears and motion and movement and stuff. It's really, really good. That's where I
have to look.
You have to go to BrickCon to take one of his classes.
Well, I went to BrickCon this year, but it was crazy because we were signing autographs.
Yeah. Oh, gee, signing autographs because now you're popular.
Well, it was out of character for, I think, all of us. Kelly's the only one who's ever modeled before. The rest of us were like, huh.
Who was it? I think it was one of the TikTok guys, Dom. Oh, Dom was talking about how, now that his hair is long, that people don't recognize him. And he'll go into a Lego store and he has TikTok videos of people just passing him by. They don't recognize him because he's not at a Lego convention, right?
That's too funny.
That is funny.
Crazy. All right. Well, wrap that up with
the results.
This is where I would have my costume change, and I would put on my fancy
silver sparkly
silver hat, which I'm bummed that I can't find right now. Because you notice that Amy has a costume change there too. She's got her sequins.
Yes, she did change. Yeah, and look at the trophy. It's so big. It doesn't even look real. It almost looks Photoshop dropped on that picture, but it isn't. It was huge. And we joked many times during the process that whoever won it was going to be able to voodoo the rest of us with our sick face.
That's funny. All right. So I think this picture is actually when they told everyone that your final build will be made into a set.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of did the reaction, and obviously, Christopher was really, really like, wow.
Well, and so Sam, look at Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, I think both those two would much rather have their build made into a set than have
the trophy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, Christopher even said that. He's like, this is way cool. Just like the 2K Drive. He was very excited to have their build turned into
the shark.
Car turned into a build.
The flaming Ventronic Sharkathon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's totally cool. So then they announced the second runner-up. And then they ran fast. They didn't have a good shot of them. But yeah, this Paul and Alita got second runner-up, and there they are walking to join their family, leaving us with the final 2 teams. And then, of course, they announced that the winner for season 4 is Christopher and Robert, and for their build. And here they are with the confetti and all and fireworks, which I don't know. Did they do fireworks last time? I don't remember that.
I don't know. I would love to have seen that. I cried just watching it on TV. Yeah. A little bit.
I don't think they did fireworks. I remember the confetti from previous seasons. I don't remember the fireworks, though.
Well, they stepped it up a notch.
The pyrotechnics. They got enough money to hire a pyrotechnic guy or a gal.
Yeah. So, yep. So there they are, and congratulations.
Spoiler alert.
Robert. Spoiler alert. Yeah. If you didn't know.
Which on Instagram is terrible because they've been posting the winners like even before the broadcast on the West Coast, which was very annoying.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not catch that.
I was almost certain I knew, but I wasn't certain I knew.
I actually had I was talking to PT about this. I said, I think the producers are probably going to have an American team win. Sorry, Groovy Bones, but I think that for the American audience, if they had 2 Canadian teams winning back to back, I'm not sure how well that would go over. Yeah. PT's like, no.
I don't subscribe.
I'm just saying that,
I heard stuff about that last year to have both Canadians, there at the end. And I'm like, give us the best builder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we did get the best builders too. Yeah. But I was very surprised that Robert and Christopher won, only because I was predicting that because of the villain aspect of Christopher and all the negative PR he was getting, that they were going to say, oh, I can't believe he won. He doesn't represent Lego but that's not his personality, right?
A lot of people have said things online and they don't know, they weren't there. Yeah. They don't know these people in real life. And everybody loved everybody, and it was not cutthroat at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Christopher just played the part well.
It was, well, Christopher is a ham. I mean,
yeah, you can see that.
Yeah,
he's a ham.
And it's also the editing too. Is that in the end, I mean, they have all this footage, and then it's all depends on how they slice and dice it.
Well, and it's just like they can edit anything they want. We had power functions in our little cat house, and they never showed on TV.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Karen, for being part of our review. For those of you who just joined us, also just a reminder, we are going to do a Bricktacular review on Friday. I haven't put it out yet, but I'm going to mention it now. Brad and Mike have asked if we could invite the cast members of season 4 to be part of that. I said, well, the problem is StreamYard will only take 10 total people. So it might be first come, first serve, and we rotate people in and out. Have not figured out the logistics yet, but we're considering it. So for any of you, if Groovy Bones or Karen or anybody, usually Lewis is in the chat. Any of you want to kind of chime in for the Bricktacular?
He's Luis.
I know he's Luis, but he says, my friends call me Lewis.
Yeah, no, he likes Luis.
He does?
He really does. I mean, he's too nice to correct you. He's too nice to correct you, but he's Luis.
I was calling him Luis at the very beginning, but then he said, my friends call me Lewis. So I'm kind of like
Emily calls him Louise.
Yeah. What I should have asked is, what does your mother call you?
Yeah.
Well, she's Cuban. She calls him Luis.
Luis, exactly. Well, Salad Bricks, also known as Luis, also known as Lewis, depending on who you're talking to.
Also known as Luis.
Yeah. You're welcome to join too. I'll put that out as just a FYI. I got to confirm with Brad and Mike that that's what they said they wanted to do. So, but PT and I have talked about it, and we're going to do it Friday at 6 o'clock to review those 2 episodes. And then Saturday, I'm going to do another community build just because it's easier on my voice if I'm not doing my own build all by myself. So we're going to do that Saturday at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. And I'm going to be working on Santa's front yard. Very cute little set. Oh, you have it too.
Hey.
I built it I got 2 and I built 1 last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to build with us.
I'm looking at it. Well, I don't know what I'll build, but I do have it. And I do love it. It was fun, and I love the moon. I love the moon.
Yes. Well, that's what we're planning to build, or you can build whatever you want. But if you're interested in that, let us know. And Lena Inverse just joined us. Good evening and good night. Just stopping by to say hi. Wish you all happy. Insert holiday name here.
Well, happy holiday of your choice to you too.
And hi, PT.
Oh, hi, Lena.
So thank you again for being part of our stream today to conclude season 4, US North America. If you're not following her already, GMA Blue Brick on Instagram. And sorry, Mimi Newbrick could not be here tonight. She had a conflict, but that's her title. Don't forget P.T.McEwen on Instagram. You can also follow me if you're not already.
I think I am.
Because you're listening to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. Please like and subscribe to the stream. I'm at 442. I only need 58 more to get to 500. And you can also send snail mail to P.O. Box 87232, Vancouver, Washington, 98687. So thank you again. And Karen, please stick around after the title card comes up. Because sometimes we've had people just leave and it's like, no, we wanted to say goodbye. So anyway, thank you, chat, for being here too. Groovy Bones, Lena Inverse, Brick Jedi, anybody who's joined us later too on the record. We really appreciate you all. Happy holidays, everybody, no matter what you celebrate. And as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, thank you so much. And may the clutch be with you. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.